tayo sa ating Smart Picks and Bans. Tunghayan na natin ang Game 2 ng ating teams, Kalasag Allstar versus Imperial Esports. Predictions sa Victoria in terms of what could be the respect bans in here. Meron ba mga dapat irespeto? Base sa nakita mo, well, nakalaban nyo rin naman. Ilan dito, for sure, medyo siguro sa scrim, apart from yesterday. Is there anything na sa tingin mo dapat talaga, well, wag na natin pag-usapan si Aya kasi given na yan eh. Mukhang ibaban talaga siya ng ibaban dito. But do you think sa mga players natin may mga kailangan pag-respeto na iba dito na heroes?
Well, definitely para sa Kalasag, they could also ban out the Lumbor and actually deprive Imperial from using that. Bihira lang kasi makakita actually na sobrang galing na LSU player. Especially in our server. Even the pro teams from Indonesia, wala pa ako masyado nakikitang malakas mag-Elsu. So, di pa ganun kataas expectation ko. But if you can actually use Elsu and mapapatama mo yung snipes on the right people, when I say the right people, pag tumama sa marksman, sa mage, or assassin. Kasi kung tatama yun sa tank, tatawanan ka lang ng tank. Tapos pag nalapitan si Elsu, that's already the end of it. Pero effective si Elsu kasi even before the clash, if you can actually suppress the other side. If you have that kind of skill, then Elsu is definitely a respect ban. But nakita natin dito, Lorian still is going to be deprived here by Imperial, and also Kalasag bans out the Hayate. But Tachi was left to the opening of Kalasag. So this could actually be flexed to a lot of position, DS lane, support, and jungle. But most of the time, ang ginagawa ng mga teams is Tachi is actually being utilized as a support. Kasi as a support, he is gonna be very, very tanky. At the same time, he can also get a 1v1 kill. That's how big of a threat Tachi is.
Eh, gusto natin, by the way, gusto ko lang isingit to. I-shoutout natin si Coach Leather Goods. Yan. Mainit ang AoV, my first love. Good luck sa both teams. Ayan. So, meron tayong guest sa ating live chat. And you know, si Tachi, ang daming pwedeng kung saan siya pwedeng i-flex. So, I think this is of course the challenge right now kung paano ka-counterin ng Imperial to. Ika-counter ba nila agad yung specific lane or role? Or bubunot na lang sila dito or magpipick na lang sila nung gusto na lang laruin. And it seems like they have decided to just go for a pick na kung saan yung gusto talaga nilang gawin. The Lumber, the Crixie, and I think walang sinasayang na oras ang Imperial Esports. Kung maglalabas sila ng hero na nasa meta, ilalabas nila. And that's what they have been doing. And now, the matchup between Tolen and the Crixie, what do you say about these two? Medyo may difference talaga sila ng, of course, ng playstyle and all that, or yung kaya nilang gawin sa mapa. But then again, both of them really looking good right now sa current meta. Ang taas ng tsansa, ang sakit in terms of their overall damage. So, anong komento mo dito sa matchup natin between the magic damage dealers?
Well, actually, in the Kalasag All-Stars, since I picked out the Tolen and also an Ignis in the second and third pick, actually, para sa akin yung ganitong draft is very, very predictable. So, alam mo na, Tolen is gonna go into the jungle side while Ignis is gonna be into the middle. Ang gusto mo kasi is, when you're going to draft, in this kind of games, gusto mo you need to keep the opponents guessing. But since you already open up your cards, Kalasag might be having a little bit of trouble. Ang bilis na lang sila i-predict at this point. Imperial Esports, they already have the Crixie, which is a no-brainer, one of the top tier mages here in AoV. Lumbor also, one of the re-emerging supports that is a very, very big threat as long as you can utilize it. And seeing that on how the team performed on game number 1, I'm expecting a lot of things on how Sofia Nicole is going to be able to actually box out the members of Kalasag again in game number 2. But still, there's still a lot of damage dito sa Kalasag All-Stars. You still have the Tulen and you still have Tachi onto their mids. So if they're going to be able to utilize this, they're actually going to be excelling in most of the ganks. With the mobility that Tachi and Tulen has, as long as they're going to be able to get the right spots and they're not going to be spotted out, Kalasag may have the opportunity to actually take the early game. of game number 2.
We'll see about that. And by the way, di ba naghanap ka ng magaling mag-Elsu sa Pinas? Meron na. Nag-chat. Nag-chat sa live stream natin. Si Coach Leather Goods. Siya lang daw ang malakas mag-Elsu sa Pinas. Mukha nga babalik na sa paglalaro sa pro. Si Coach Leather Goods. Ariyan, sabi ni Jason Castro, miss ka na ng AoV. Ayan. Anyway, ayun na nga, no, we'll have to see on this one. And I think, again, hindi nag-aalinlangan dito for the heroes na ilalabas sa Imperial. Even the Kapeni, nilabas na nila. But I think for them to pull it off properly is that kailangan nila maghanap ng mas early pa na hero into the jungle and into the DS lane as well. Kasi if not, then sasabayan nila yung Tachi na grabe sa late game, especially actually hindi lang late game eh. So napapansin ko sa kanya, mid to late game, andyan na siya, and what more, kasama pa si Tulad. So that's gonna look crazy, and now I think kulang na lang din sa Kalasag dito yung pang-engage na pwede nilang ilagay sa kanilang lineup. But Richter, what do we have on Richter so far sa current meta ng AoV?
Well, Richter is actually one of the top tier DS laners right now here in AoV. Nagkaroon kasi siya ng slight adjustment sa skills niya. Dati kasi, when you're using the parry skill of Richter, you can actually parry the stuns and you're not gonna be stopping into your tracks. Pero ngayon kasi, it's a channeling skill na when you get stunned while you're using the parry, you're actually gonna be taking the damage and the parry is gonna be discontinued. Hindi na siya katulad dati na when you go in, for sure you're gonna be able to get out. Especially the tower dives coming into the Richter, yun yung naging threat kung bakit siya isa sa mga top tier supports. But because of the skill adjustments that we can actually call a nerf on Richter, hindi na siya viable onto the support as much as dati. So definitely, the damage though has been readjusted for Richter. So he can actually compete a lot more onto the DS. Yun yung ginawang adjustment kay Richter. So most of the time, when the Richter is picked, he's not gonna be onto the support position anymore.
We'll see I think for the first time, correct me if I'm wrong, League, Errol is gonna be here in the composition of Imperial. So medyo kinalmahan nila kasi they've been spending a lot of meta heroes in here, Lumber, Kafeni, Crixie as well. So kinalmahan nila ng bahagya dito para sa last 2 picks nila. Sabi nila, reserve muna tayo ng konti. But I think in terms of what they can do in terms of damage up against dito sa composition ng Kalasag, parang pang late game magdedelikado sila eh. Kasi again, Kalasag, although sabihin na natin hindi as in tank yung mga nakikita nating heroes dito, it's a balance. They are bruisers. And Yina, Tachi, I think they're gonna wait for that power spike that they have until in such a way they're not just soaking in damage but at the same time dealing damage as well. Ikaw ba, for these two teams, kanino yung mas napupusuan mong lineup, Vittorio?
Well, actually, we're going to see a lot of damage from Kalasag, and going into the international meta, damage is actually king right now in AoV. And if Kalasag All-Stars can actually use this kind of strategy, definitely in terms of the damage that they can bring into the table, they are going to be on top of Imperial Esports. But that is a what if. Nakita naman natin on how effective Imperial Esports was able to play out their kind of strategy, kung saan they're always looking out for free lanes to actually count. And even the vision control, if they actually take the vision control, even if you have a lot of damage on your team, that will also be mitigating the effectiveness on what this kind of composition from Kalasag All-Stars can actually do. Makikita natin, the biggest struggle of game number 1 for Kalasag All-Stars is to actually execute any openings. Hindi sila nakakita ng kahit anong chinks sa armor ng Imperial Esports. And if that's still going to be the case, even with all the damage that Kalasag has, they're not going to win game number 2 again. So Imperial Esports still has the momentum. They still are going to be able to control this game as long as Sophia Nicole is going to be effective in the support position.
Parang may pressure para kay Sophia Nicole dito lagi, ano, Vittorio? Kung siya yung
Definitely.
magiging bouncer ulit ng game na to, maybe, sabi ni Vittorio, they could get the win. But let's see about that because of course it's no longer a thing that is in the hands of Sofia Nicole. Meantime, ito na tayo sa ating battlefield. Kalasag Allstar versus Imperial Esports. Best of 7 tayo dito. Kami ang inyong magiging shoutcasters kay Sayan, Vittorio. We'll see how this one will pan out. So what do you think about the early game na ginagawa dito? Parang meet up sa gitna ng mapa, yung naunang ginawa na pareho ng Pinsa.
Yes. Actually, di naman nakikita kasi natin dito sa Imperial Esports. They actually want to deal a lot of damage onto the composition of Kalasag before the first Sentinel is taken. And that's gonna be a steal! Coming in from Kalasag Allstar with the killing joke being used by the Joker to actually steal that Sentinel onto the clutches of Imperial Esports. And makikita natin sa Imperial Esports, they actually are harassing the mid laners of Kalasag All-Star. Most of the time, Yui is always in peril just because the composition of IE always leans to a lot of pokes. And nakita natin si Tora even joined later into the party kung saan pinorse down nila si Yui na gamitin agad yung mga restore niya.
That's so true. And again, walang alinlangan. Actually, parehong teams naman sobrang lakas ng loob. But I think sa taas ng mapa, may ganap lang tayo ng bahagya doon. But of course, that is a Joker. Definitely, kaya-kaya niya mag-pick a card, any card lang. Tapos makaka-go back na siya sa safety. So, in terms of, hindi siya yung katulad, of course, ng Violet. May mga roll, ganyan, dash in and dash out. But, it's good enough na kaya niyang at least matanggal lahat ng mga CC or mga slows sa kanya. But meantime, ito na middle lane, ito natin dito, 1.9. Okay, hindi nakuha yun, but that's fine. Kalma lang muna tayo para sa pareho.
Yes. And they're gonna be actually exchanging the objectives. Dragon is gonna be taken here by Imperial Esports. And in terms of the effectivity of the buffs, Dark Slayer is going to be the one in deficit. Mas gusto mo makuha yung Dragon just because you want that faster clears because of the buff of the Dragon, which gives you some incremental damage against minions and papabilisin nun yung rotation ng lahat ng lanes. While the Dark Slayer buff actually gives you health regeneration and also helps you try to push down the tower. Pero because of the turret plating, that is actually a hard buff to swallow. Kung saan hindi siya ganun ka-effective. Even if you have the Dark Slayer buff, you're not still gonna be able to push that tower as long as there's gonna be a laner into their mids. And Tora gets that 2-man knock-up onto Quinn and Legacy. And most of the time, makikita natin, Tora is actually a very, very proficient Richter player. Kasi sa mga tina-target ban namin once we actually see, the Dark Slayer lane is still open for the taking.
Alam na. Tora, ikaw pala ang tina-target dito ng Team Victoria. But anyway, on to the top side, we can see here, targeted na nga, Tora, Queen will get the kill and will secure that for the side of Kalasag All-Star. Mukhang may pagbawi ng api. And then they have the good position into securing this Sentinel for themselves. So, ibibigay na lang ni Sofia Nicole dahil syempre, kulang sa numero at hindi naman papalagpa. May respeto pa rin para sa Kalasag All-Stars.
Oh, very surprising actually that they actually changed lane. They put the Penny into the Abyssal Dragon lane. And it's a very unfavorable matchup when you have a Yena against a Kafeni. In terms of the damage that the Yena can actually do in the early part of the game. It's a combination lang yan eh. Once you get that chakra, you get the slow, you get near the hero, you actually get that silence and also a burst of damage. And medyo nalilate na nga dito yung medyo nalilate na actually yung meta. Yena has actually been having a resurgence, and that is going to be the mind of the hunter being used. Tora is going to be slowed down again. Another wave from that Tachi is going to finish up Tora here into the top lane. And ito na kasi nasabi ko, there is going to be a clear disadvantage with the Joker against a Richter. Plus, that is going to be a favorable lane for all of the ganks from Kalasag All-Star. They're taking the initiative in this game.
Talagang bubulihin si Tora kung bubulihin si Nicole. However, with the flicker out, hindi nakasurvive. The Thunderbird will get the kill and secure that up against Imperial,
red
up
team
against
tower has
Sophia
been destroyed.
Nicole. So this time, looks like this is looking like a good start for Kalasag Allstar, getting a 3-0 kill lead and 2K gold as well. Ang good payoff dito, yung pambubuli nila kay Tora.
Yes, and makikita natin dito yung gold rin ni Cafeni is actually not doing well. It's not gonna do wonders for Imperial Esports. They need to get that marksman up. Cafeni is gonna be a big focal point for them to actually get back into this game. And with Kalasag All-Star rotating very, very effectively, may hirapan kumuha ng mga objectives and also any kind of advantage. Nicole uses his ultimate to try to steal that dragon, but it is not going to be enough. There might be a push though onto the top lane with the Kafeni and also in the Aero. Actually, moving into the top lane, the Joker is not yet going to go in for that defense, but with Quinn adding himself into the mix, they are going to be forcing now the Imperial Esports to go for another objective.
Hindi naka-push. Pero laban pa rin dito ang Imperial Esports as you can see it. Though medyo nagkakaroon ng pressure dito, both yung si Quixie as well as si Lumber dito na magamit yung kanilang mga ultimate. Moonfall has been used a while ago dun sa middle lane natin just to scare off the members of Kalasag. Kalasag wanting to get the Slayer right now and making sure na hindi na pahabulin. Hindi na nila pahabulin ang Imperial Esports in terms of the lead that they have taken away from them sa Game 1. May pagbawi. But, meantime, bot, apparently, Tora, not enough damage as of yet. Actually, deal up against Cly. Dahil, nga naman, nabully siya dun sa taas ng mapa. But, beautiful, look at the advance that he's doing. Tignan natin kung matutulak nga ba. Unfortunately, papalayo. So, just, well, not so much unfortunately because the goal in here is to take down the tier 1 turret in the bot, which successful naman na nagawa ng Imperial Esports.
AoV is going to be spotting out here. The rotate from Imperial Esports. The vision is definitely onto Kalasag. Look at the damage there. +4 is going to be harassed here with the passive of that Tulen. And alam mo, nakikita ko dito, you're seeing a Hermes Boots onto the Richter. And at this point, if you're actually going in for the Hermes Boots on that Richter, you're going in for a roaming Richter. But at this part of the game we're in, you're actually going in for the defense. You want to actually take the towers. The Hermes Boots is not going to be the best type of boots that you want. I think Sonic Boots would have been a better choice. And Gilded Greaves, definitely still a no-brainer for the crowd control. And one down now in spots out Fly here, with some slow. And this actually affects on how Imperial Esports is going to be able to go for the clashes. And that is a split in here. He is not going to be able to use a demonic arm to get that kill. Gets a stun in, but that is going to be refreshed with the cleanse from the support, and they are gonna disengage. No one actually taking the advantages. Alright, so he's spotting that kid, uses the mark of the hunter. The passive is not gonna be procced up for the silence and the additional damage, but still, they are going to be forcing the members of Kalasag All-Star to go back.
Then again, this is Kalasag just making sure that they still give respect up against Imperial Esports dahil mahirap nang makasalo ng Moonfall na tinatawag natin dito coming from Quixie. But meantime, tignan natin dito, contested na ng Imperial Esports ang ating Dragon, but for the side of Kalasag, they would rather just go for a trade than actually contest. Medyo malayo din kasi sila doon. And I think they will just let this translate to a push maybe on the top side or maybe even in the mid lane kung saan hindi papasag yung tier 1 turret ng Imperial. But for the meantime, look at that. All of it coming up from Sophia Nicole. Unfortunately, walang follow-up. And I think it's kind of a waste though they have to wait to go for a team fight na available na rin to ultimate ni Lumber.
Yep, and Crosscore is going to be using the Moonfall to actually try to burst down this layer into the middle lane. But without the creeps, they're not going to be able to take that tower easily. And that's going to be a successful defense here in the mid lane. Tora is going to be spotting out here the mid laner of Kalasag All-Stars, while most of the members of Imperial are actually eyeing for the first tier turret here onto the top lane.
And I think this is gonna be a successful one. Medyo naka-advance na dito si Sophia Nicole. But no, medyo late nga rin pala. Shattered Earth. Or rather, sorry, Earth Splitter will not connect onto anyone. But that's just Fate Zone. And nakuha naman nila yung Torre. And that's what they only wanted to do. Mamba out dito. Translate muna sa mid. At the same time, balik muna sa kanya-kanyang lane. But no, sabi dito ni Queen. Nako, hahanapin ko kayo. But then again, the Moonfall is actually there. Coming from Crosscore. Still allowing their members was used defensively, but it's still okay just to avoid another casualty to happen. Flicker out, coming from Tora, just to make sure, again, no additional casualties, please. So, hindi malayo yung gold gap natin, ha, Vittorio?
Yes, and makikita mo dito yung damage na kayang gawin dito ni Mickey, even with the Medallion of Troy already being procced out here by being bought by this Richter. It is not gonna be enough because of the damage spike of a Tulen who is actually sporting out that magic piercing boots and also a boomstick. Meron na rin siyang diadem which actually is gonna be dealing a lot of damage in a short amount of time. If Pastor or even the Kafeni is gonna be caught out by the Tulen, I'm pretty sure 3 seconds is actually enough to actually finish off any of the squishy heroes.
Kumbaga, pagkain para sa kanila dito yan. But for the meantime, Riverbed, ang bahan lang ng mga support natin dito. Moonfall has been used again just to clear off the minion waves really fast. Walang alinlangan from Crosscore. They don't want to let the members of Kalasag to take down or their turret in the mid lane. Not just take down, but also kahit dumisan lang, ayaw nilang hayaan yun.
Yeah, of course. There's a lot of advantages if you have the first year turret in the mid lane. Ang dali mo lang i-monitor yung rotation coming in the other team. And most of the time, if you have a Crixie, you can just actually spam your ultimate. 2 waves is enough to actually get that cooldown up again for a Crixie. And that says a lot on how much utility the Crixie can actually bring your team. But Mickey is going to be spotting out 1 down 9 here. Nicole is going to be blocking that Thunderbird. And they're actually going to be out of position to go for a defense here. So Sophia Nicole is actually going to be using the Earth Splitter for the mid. But the boost line is also going to be used. The Demonic Arm is going to be repositioning 1 down 9. Is he able to get that kill? He is almost taken down. And one member is out. Tora comes in with the Mark of the Hunter and gets those 2-man knock-up. It is going to be enough, but for the members of Kalasag also outlasted Tora, and they get that 4 kill here into that middle lane engagement.
Oh no! It all started with the Earth Splitter not connecting onto anyone, right? And at the same time, we'll be taking a look at the instant replay. So there we go. Ito, nakas na yung Earth Splitter dito eh. Pumasok lahat, sinundan. But then again, cross-core and 1 down 9. Super low on HP. Hindi maganda yung timing. Ode was down as well. And Tora, wala na magawa. Even if he tries to back away, that was like 4 or 5 members on the side of Kalasag Allstar and definitely can't do anything about that. So I think dapat nung nag-fail na agad yung Earth Splitter ni Sophia Nicole dito, mamba out na eh. Wala nang follow-up kasi it failed already. No one got knocked up, no one got slowed down. So I think it's not a good decisions na ipagpatuloy pa yung laban.
Yeah, I do agree. I think it was a very, very mature clash coming in from Imperial Esports. Hindi nila na-gauge actually yung na nandun na pala lahat ng members ng Kalasag All-Star. And nagulat din kasi sila because some of the members of Kalasag All-Star was actually hanging back into the push. And once they got a spot onto that Tolen, medyo nagkaroon siguro ng greediness here in Imperial Esports that they want to get that shutdown. And Finn is gonna be knocked back here by Sophia Nicole, but without any other members of Imperial Esports into the area, they're not gonna be able to secure any kill. You actually need the Kafeni and also the Crixie to be in place to actually get a kill onto that Tachi. Because looking at the defensive items here, you have the Shield of the Loss, you also have the Medallion of Troy, and that's already big. Because the passive of Tachi, if you're going to be able to proc it out, you're going to have some health regen and also some kind of shield that can actually let you outlast some of the damage coming in from Imperial Esports. That's gonna be the Tachi going into the fray. Fusilon is gonna be used with the Moonfall, but Quinn was able to outlast all of the damage coming in from the members of Imperial Esports, and this is something that is going to be taken advantage of by Kalasag All-Stars, since now they are going to maybe take the Slayer.
Medyo sumobra lang sa zone itong si Sophia Nicole. Arctic Orb has been used apparently, of course, hindi makakalast doon si Ode. That's the Tulan we're talking about. Even a Joker too. So much burst and crit damage. Meantime, bumawi ng Imperial Esports sa baba ng mapa. Going up against Clyde dito. Flicker out. Makakasurvive pa nga ang ate mo, Yena. And while that has happened, the survivability for Clyde, ang rest of the members ng Kalasag Esports will be able to take the Dark Lord. Is this gonna be it anytime soon? One member down ang Imperial Esports ngayon. Of course, on time pa rin mabubuhay. And look at the reset. Everyone just went for a reset, making sure that they're all gonna be full health as they try to march down into the lanes of the game.
Yeah, and actually, para sa akin, Tachi is actually very, very effective in this game. Dahil nga sa ginagawa niya, he was able to tank all the damage. He was able to box out most of the members of Imperial Esports. And although ayoko siguro yung next item na gagawin niya, he's actually going in for Acres instead. I think more defensive items is actually on call here for the Tachi to actually be able to be effectively box out more into the late game. But with the Slayer here into the middle lane, Imperial Esports is doing their best to actually shave off the health. At this point, they're using their ultimate here with the Moonfall being used here by Cruscore. But on the top lane, 1-9 is actually being harassed here by the members of Kalasag All-Star. Will he be able to defend? No, the answer is definitely there. With 4 of the members, he is not going to be enough.
Well, hindi natapos or hindi... I was actually thinking, okay, pwede kayang kung makakuha sila ng isa or dalawang tore sa mid, but that did not happen. But then again, hindi makakaila yung advantage na meron ngayon dito ang Kalasag All-Star. But for the meantime, tamang kalma muna. Now the chances, kanina pinag-uusapan natin si Game 1, paano makakabawi ang Kalasag All-Star sa lead ng Imperial Esports. Now this time, it's the other way around. Ano ang pwedeng gawin or ang dapat gawin dito ng Imperial Esports in such a way they will still make it up in this game? Do you see any loopholes na pwede pang kuhain dito ng Imperial Esports?
Yeah, actually, if they take out the Tolan, it is definitely going to be on their favor. But at this point, since a lot of the members of Kalasag are already online, you have the Joker, you have the Tolan, and also the Yena. Look at that 13k. It's just very, very difficult right now for Imperial Esports unless they get a wombo combo, which is very, very hard to execute because you need to be in the right moment and at the right time to actually be able to execute a wombo combo at this point of the game. But still, Imperial Esports just needs to hang along here with the Joker being taken out here with the Earth Splitter and the Quinn using his ultimate for that slow. He's not going to be able to get that, but look at the Moonfall. He are going to be able to take that with Sophia Nicole, making 2 consecutive plays. The Lumbor is actually doing it for Imperial Esports. The first year turret is going to take it out. But still, he has the Blade of Eternity, and Mickey is going to be able to successfully destroy all of the minion waves here in the mid lane to defend the second tier turret. But still, this is going to be a win for Imperial Esports. They were able to take some ground against Kalasag All-Star.
Grabe yung laban natin dito. And sometimes natutuwa ako pag nakikita rin natin yung mga facial expression ng mga players natin dito sa ating face cam. Kung ano ba, natutuwa ba sila sa ganap. And yes, I guess Imperial Esports was happy with that result. Although hindi nila napatay si Mickey. Mickey was just so slippery from that game. 0 deaths pa rin. So was the Yina. But then again, nakita natin, we were looking for a loophole. And I think yun na ang sagot sa tanong. We need to find that Earth Splitter connecting onto a to an important target. It could be Legacy, the Joker, it could be Mickey as well. Either of the two sa nakikita ko rin dito, or either of the three na squishy target from Kalasag, Allstar, and the rest of the members later on na lang pag-decision na. Yeah, for the meantime, medyo nakahinga ang Imperial Esports sa match na to at 20-minute game time. We just have to find out as there is some fight ongoing sa bot lane natin. It is the Richter as well as the Yina. And as you can see, Clyde will just have to back away a little bit. Si Richter dito, nakakabawi-bawi na, Vittorio.
Yes, and yun nga kung bakit top tier dito si Richter. One of the reasons is he can actually parry out some of the damage that he's gonna receive. Plus, the Mark of the Hunter is gonna be a true damage when you are able to stack it. Plus, the silence is definitely gonna be helpful in terms of the clashes. And alam mo, one of the biggest mistakes that we saw from Kalasag All-Star was the positioning of Legacy. What was he doing into that death rush without any kind of vision at all? You know, it's kind of funny at this time of pivotal moments wherein you're gonna see the marksman actually going into places like a tank.
Siya na daw ang magtatank, sabi ni Legacy. But no, definitely that is the question, right? I think there's a confusion. Minsan mawawala talaga yung decision making mo. It's gonna be cloudy since you are in the middle of the battlefield. But of course, this is a reason why we're also trying to find the best out of the players. And look at that! Look at the meeting up at some moment. Kontrolado na ng Imperial Esports itong Slayer side natin. Kanina, it was all blue and the members of Kalasag was actually right at the nearby the tier 2 turret of Imperial Esports. Half-Life Quinn in here, making sure that he's gonna be going back away just a little bit. And I think itong kailangang iwasan na for both teams is yung masyadong overextended. Masyado na overextended pa, diba? So I think isa yun sa mga nakita natin na naging mistake din on the side of Sophia Nicole. He was actually like in the middle of Kalasag All-Star members, just soaking in damage, but you know, he didn't last. But we'll see this time around as they try to just find out kung ba pwede nilang gawin. Meantime, on the bot side, Tora versus Clyde, we'll see what will happen here. Flicker out, and boom, talagang basahan lang muna. Mind games for the meantime for both of these teams.
Yep. It would have been detrimental if they get that Iana. They're gonna be having a clear ticket here onto the Slayer. But for now, IE is actually playing it safe. They're not banking a lot of their resources on taking that hero onto the bot lane. But still, with the pressure that Tora actually is bringing into the table, Clyde is going to be preoccupied clearing out the lanes. So with the Hermes boots, you're definitely going to see Tora actually be first in terms of going and joining the clashes. Sophia Nicole is going to be spotted here by Mickey. Some damage being actually done here. Cross core almost falling down with a killing joke. And Legacy is actually harassing the members of Imperial Esports just in a safe distance. And this is why Joker is actually one of the top tier marksmen here in ArenaofValor.
In fairness naman din, halos sumasakit na rin si Wandao dito. And we're getting closer to the 30 minutes mark ng ating laro. And that could just mean everyone has the full itemization already. And at the same time, magpapalit-palit na lang sila. And yesterday, I can remember, umabot tayo sa 8 Slayers ng laro. So that was super interesting. Hindi malayang ganun din ang mangyari dito sa Kalasag All-Star, especially if wala sa mga team ang gustong makapag-commit ng another mistake. So we'll just have to find out for now kung sino unang mainip, siya yata yung malulugi. But sa nakikita mo, ano yung mga kailangang adjustments pa dito na dapat gawin ng either of the teams? But teka lang, may ganap yata sa baba ng mapa. No! I mean, Tora is just, he hurts a lot in here. Hindi yata makasabay si Clay doon. What is happening? I mean, for Clay, what does he needs to adjust? Maybe in such a way makaka-match up din siya dito kay Richter. Kasi kanina si Richter yung nahihirapan eh. But it seems like si Richter, bawi-bawi. What can Clay do at this point in time?
Actually, in terms of a Richter and also a Yena matchup, kung sino mauna, siya yung labang. And Tora is going to be forcing out that flicker from Clyde. While there's going to be a Fusillade and also the Demonic Arm from 1 down 9. They're not going to let Quinn get out of here. and Prey with Klein not in the area, they are going to have the advantage because of the engagement onto the bot lane. Tora right now is actually being more effective in the DS lane. And this is what I'm telling you. If one of the members is actually going to be missing out here in Kalasag All-Stars, they're not going to be able to take anyone off from Imperial Esports. And with the Slayer being taken here with a Moonfall, they are going to get that engagement in again. Fly is in the area, but without the tank, which is Quinn, they're not going to be able to actually engage Imperial Esports, even with the low health numbers that we're seeing from their members.
Grabe na dito ang Imperial Esports despite the lead na meron ang Kalasag All-Star. Bawi-bawi pa rin naman sa kaya nilang gawin. And look at that. This is now just 1K, 2K gold lead sa kamay ng Kalasag. And partida pa, nasa kanila na rin dito sa Imperial Esports ang Slayer. Huwag kalimutan dito na si 1 down 9 ang Errol natin, mas makit na rin. So si Stora, hindi na makasustain si Cly whenever they're trying to go for a play dun sa bot lane kanina, just like how we saw it. And Sophia Nicole sabi niya, hindi na ako pwedeng magkamali ng aking ultimate. Bawal na, and cross court 2, I mean, this is like a massive AoV damage dealer as well. May naka-reserve pang RT4, and we'll just have to find it kasi as we can see, kaya pa ng Kalasag All-Star eh. Hindi, basta wag lang mapitas. Itong si Legacy, itong si Mickey, itong si Yui even. But it's tough kasi wala silang really, alam mo yun, solid frontliner. Ang pinakaasahan na lang dito na mag-frontline talaga is Queen and Clyde.
Yep, and Imperial Esports is now marching with the Slayer into the second tier turret here in the bot lane is going to be taken. Cly is not enough to clear that lane. Legacy is doing his best. Thora is just harassing here the members of Kalasag also, while Sophia Nicole in the backside using the Slayer to actually do some damage. They're going to be using all of their skills to get that Slayer and shave itself off. It's going to be 1 down 9 in the middle lane, getting that 3-man knockup, getting most of his health up because of that skill shot. And Esports is now taking all of the outer turrets of Kalasag All-Star. They're still harassing them with the Earth Flare being used by Sophia Nicole again. But without the creep wave, they're not going to be able to get that middle lane turret. But still, this is a big win for Imperial Esports because at the first part of game number 2, they were the one in the receiving end. Now they are the one reciprocating it with Kalasag All-Star now trying to find an answer to actually get back into this game.
Grabe talaga yung ganap dito. And I like the fact na hindi inasim ng Imperial Esports up until the inhibitor turret. Dahil, again, walang namatay sa side ng Kalasag All-Star. Malapit sila sa base nila. They could just go for that regeneration of HP. Babalik sila doon sa inhibitor turret and they probably can just go for a flank and maybe even go for a kill. At pwede pang bumalik na ng laban. But Imperial Esports, they have realized, okay, no, we are not committing that mistake. We've seen that kind of play yesterday many times, different teams. Nasa isang team na yung lead, but then again, biglang mababaliktad yung situation because umaasim. But yeah, we'll see about this. Map control still on the hands of Imperial Esports. Sophia Nicole, 1 down 9, gonna go for that roam in the map in such a way, ipe-pressure lang nila muna yung game until we find another fight that might happen.
Yes, and they're actually playing it as safe as they can. They're actually wanting a Slayer first for Imperial Esports before they go for a push because they know that if they actually make a mistake, everything can actually turn into crumbles with the damage that Kalasag All-Star has. But with the late game potential of IE, they were actually able to mitigate all of the damage that they are receiving with the Lombor actually getting all of his defensive items already up. It is going to be hard for Kalasag All-Star unless they get that Kirksey or also the Kafeni. As long as 1 down 9 and Sophia Nicole is in the front lane, they're not going to be able to actually take the back line of Imperial Esports.
Yeah, ang maganda kasi dito, hindi talaga nagpapakita or nag-overextend si Own. Very disciplined in terms of positioning, making sure na may mas naka-advance sa kanya bago siya lumabas or magpakita sa mapa. And that way to hindi makagawa ng paraan yung Kalasag All-Star ngayon na okay, we're gonna be flanking towards the Kafeni. we're gonna try to spot him out, but meantime, wala eh. Hindi talaga nangyayari yun. And look at the bot side. Yena as well as Richter. Si Yena, she's been trying to do all he can para makapalag sa Richter, but no, it's not happening. Do you think that kailangan na magpalit dito somehow ni Queen tsaka ni Cly, or sino yung mas makakapalag dito kay Richter? Kasi, I mean, hinang-hina siya in front of the Richter.
Yeah, actually at this point, there's just no one that can actually kill the Richter at this point, even in the 1v1, because everyone is going to be taken out here with a puzzle lobby, and with the clip breaker as well by Natachi is being used. 1down9 gets another 4-man knockup. They get Legacy into that trade, although with the members of Imperial Esports very, very low in health, they are still going to be able to live. Are they going to be taking these players?
Delikado
This
to,
is
ha?
going to be an answer. But this is going to be a dangerous situation. Sophia Nicole spots out Fly here, but with most of the members of IE very, very low in health, I think this is the better decision. They need to get back, because if they do actually go for a committal onto that Slayer, it could actually be a turnaround wherein
Just stop,
Kalasag
just
also
stop.
might be able to steal the Slayer for themselves. Yeah, and to actually answer the question, uh, Quinn is not going to be able to actually change the position with Clyde, because Clyde right now, I mean, Quinn is actually very, very needed in the clashes, because without him, they're not going to be able to take any kills. Prospor might be in danger, and he uses that orb to actually save himself from that Thunderbird. He's going to be forced to go back again, but with 1down9 in the area, he was able to save Prospor. That is a nod wherein Imperial Esports is still on top of Kalasag Allstar, as long as Richter is going to be winning this 1v1 matchup with Quinn, I mean with Cly, they're still going to be on a better end of this game. And for now, the Slayer is still going to be a coveted objective. The members of Kalasag All-Star needs to make a play. They actually need to kill that Crixie or the Kafeni. And if they do get this winning condition, for sure, Imperial Esports is going to be crumbling. But Yowie, as we all know, Ignis is not really one of the best mages to be in that kind of situation. He's not going to be able to actually get a kill. Liliana would have been a better pick here, but since this is a best of 7, they're actually playing out their cards as smart as they can. Ignis is going to be able to spot out Cuspor and Sophia Nicole. That's going to be a knockup and also a harassment here from Cuspor. He did not commit that moonfall just yet. Maybe he wants to use it onto a clash. 1down9 is in the area, being spotted out here by Mickey. Cly as well spots out Thora. He is going to have the initiative here. The stun is not going to connect. Moonfall is going to be used again. Quinn is going to be knocked back. The Earth Splitter is being used. The cleanse has been procced out. So this is going to be an information for Imperial Esports. There is a 120-second cooldown for the cleanse. So in the 1 minute mark, they can actually engage Kalasag All-Star, and they're not going to be able to use the cleanse from the crowd, and the crowd controls are going to be very, very effective at this point.
Yes, indeed. And in here, lagpas 30 minutes na tayo. Vittorio, grabe itong laban na to. Akala namin ni Giyang kahapon, tapos na or sagad na yung 30 minutes game time kahapon. But this time, mas matindi pa. Pang best of 7 talaga yung labanan. Sabi dito ni Myla Villarino, road to 1 hour ata tong larong to. Hindi na to para hindi na pang bagay ito sa PC game. Pero teka lang, ito na nga, bakbakan dito sa Phoenix Call. Ayun na nga, may natunak dito. Unfortunately, nakabambaot pa nga si Yubi. It's gonna be safe still, but si Errol dito, 1down9. Still going for this aggressive play. Only coming from the Ferry as well. Full shot will trigger dito yung mga members ng Kalasag All-Star. But then again, yung miyembro pa nga dito ng Imperial, yung nabawasan, 1down9 will fall down. And look at that! Arctic Orb, but cross score! Look at that cross score! Apparently still all alive. Thanks kay Sophia Nicole, na-block niya dito yung Thunderbird ni Mickey, but to the cost of his life.
Yeah, that was a costly mistake for Imperial Esports. I think Tora was actually out of position, and that enabled Kalasag Allstar to actually get the advantage here. And 1-9 was very, very aggressive in his pushes. He did not anticipate here. Tora goes in for that steal. The Dark Lord Slayer is taken here by Imperial Esports. Oh, this Airy in very low in health. He uses that ball slaughter and regenerates most of his health. Mickey was not able to lock in with that Thunderbird, and the retribution was very late for Kalasag All-Star. With the Dark Lord Slayer being taken here by Imperial Esports and the dead timers already up for Imperial Esports, this is the chance for Imperial Esports to actually take the initiative again. For sure, one tower is going to crumble here, and Cruscore goes in and pushes the Dark Lord Slayer here into the mid lane. Very, very surprising because at this moment you should not actually push there. But 1-9 gets Mickey. He is not going to be able to go for the defense. And with a 4-member of Kalasag All-Star, it's not going to be enough for Imperial Esports because Yoi again is going to be taken out again. Uses that orb and still that is still secure for Imperial Esports again. Cruscore, Sophia Nicole, Tora, and the other members are now here in the middle lane, knocking on the door of Kalasag All-Star. 3 members against 5. We already know what's going to happen. There's going to be a Nexus block, and then Imperial Esports is going to take game number 2 with a dominating last-minute win.